Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Woo! I don't need to holler so loud. Today is actually nice enough not to have to turn the fans on, so you can actually hear what I have to say today. Today, we are working on a HRX217, the famous self-propelled belt. Was not looking forward to this job. Oh well, I've done enough of them now where I can just do it and get it over with. Whew, I took and scraped the deck real good and took it out in the driveway and hosed it and cleaned it real good. That's the first thing you really need to do. And in my experience, these HRX217s, when they break a belt, or, you know, if something goes wrong with the belt, it just disappears. I've never seen one come in here that was just broke or burnt or stretched. They just disappear. I don't know where they go. I know they don't hang around. Oh, let's see what we got to do here. Make sure your gas cap and your oil cap dipstick's tight. You don't want to make a big old mess. All right. Luckily, I had a few of these in stock. Part number is 22432 VH7A00. Pow. Made in America. All right. Oh, let's see. First thing we need to do is take the blade off. Ooh, I put that on there with a jackhammer. One of them 18-wheeler lug wrenches. There we go. Good Lord, I didn't think I was gonna get it off. Well, this was missing the washer. Sure is. We got one I can find and put back on there though. See if I can get my socket back. There we go. Yep, that was missing this washer. Now I got a bunch of them lying around. All right. Next thing we need to do is get these metal rings off. You can see this little indentation here. You don't need to take that bolt. You don't need to take that one off. These are the front engine mount bolts. Just that one and that one. That one and that one. And that one, which is an engine mount bolt, and that one, which is an engine mount bolt. So, you know, leave these two alone and your engine won't fall off. Let's see, that's gonna be a 12 millimeter. 12 millimeter. Go ahead and get these two off. Big old long engine mount bolt. Big old long engine mounting bolt. I'm gonna set these things over here in a pattern they come off. I know that one goes in the back. And we'll pull this one off. See, a little short bolt. And this will be a little short bolt. Take this and set it here. Okay, let me get some more light. Yeah, that belt is just completely gone. I don't see it on the pulley or on the engine, nowhere. It's just going. All right. Set this over here with the other ones. Go ahead and pull that clutch off. Yep, 14. There we go. You might want to do this before you take them blades off, because you can hold them blades and get this center bolt out. And the whole darn thing will come off. Okay, there's your clutch. I just did one of these yesterday. That was a HRX217. This one's different. This is a HRX217. All right, this ought to pull off. Grab it in the pry bar and try to help it come off of there, Mr. Drum. I'll tell you, it don't take nothing for me to get a song stuck in my head. Don't lose that little key that goes right there. Don't lose that little key. It goes in the shaft that way and it sticks out like that. Set this over here with the clutch drum, clutch friction disc, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's see. I can usually do this by hand. That was pretty tough. That was pretty tough. Let's see, I'm gonna get that spring off right there. How did I do that yesterday? I think I just muscled it. I believe I did somehow or another. Oh, I see what I had to do. You gotta pull this back. There we go. Get it out of this keeper right here. And then it'll let you twist it a little bit. Well, it ain't wanting to cooperate. What I want to do is twist it a little bit and get this cable out of there. Yep. Twist that little plate back there. Grab a screwdriver. Let's see, how can we get that off? How did I do that yesterday without hurting myself? Careful, because that spring is on a pretty good little bit of a tension. Not a whole lot. I mean, you can do it. I'd use Charles Dean's tool he made me, but I can't really get it in there. There we go. Just like that. We'll just set this aside. Be careful, man. Don't bend your favorite screwdriver trying to do that. And just pull the cable out. Out of this little hole right there. And move it back behind it. You gotta get this off so you can get to the pulley, so you can get your new belt on there, or the old one off. Voila. And there's your pulley. Sitting way back there. Yep. You don't have to really take that off, but I just like looking at it. Set this aside. The friction plate. Oh, we got that. Now I'm going to reach around there and get this off. This goes up to the mulch or bag selection lever. I always put it over on mulch to do this job. That way you can get to that nut. But that's where this attaches to. You got to get that nut and carriage bolt out of there so you can pull that cover off. And it is, move this flashlight here. It is right there, 10 millimeter. We also have to take this off too, which the head of that bolt is held by that little metal bracket. And it is, where'd it go? Oh, there it is, right there, hiding from you. We're gonna pull this wheel off and get to this little bolt right here. That's holding this side, and it ought to come on off. Let me grab my little ratchet. I can't get an impact in there. 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter. Just reach around there like that. You can't really see what you're doing. Take your thumb and hold the head of that carriage bolt so it don't come out and start spinning. Little nut. Little nut. And then pull your bolt out. Put them back together and save them. Put it right there. Little nut and bolt. Carriage bolt. And that's where it was, right there. Okay, well, what do we got next? I'm pulling that wheel off. That's a 14mm bolt on that wheel. Just reach over here and, well, that's 12mm. Keep getting my sockets mixed up. And don't lose your washers. We'll leave it on there. Okay, let me grab my 10mm socket and grab the little impact. Put your 10mm on there and zip that one out. Wow, don't lose the washer. And then we will take the 12mm. Let me grab a 12mm, another 12mm. Use my quarter drive, and we'll take that bolt right there out. I'm gonna reach around here and hold the head of the bolt so it don't come out. And you gotta get your socket. Where did that go? There it is. Grab your little magnet. Pow. There's that. See a little, this sits in a channel and this will hold this. I've seen this hardware just completely corroded before, but we're getting pretty lucky with this one. Okay. This is where all the mud and everything's gonna be packed. Right behind this. Yeah. This sometimes can fall out, but mud. Okay. Go ahead and pull this off. It just lays on there. And let's see, we got to get this lever off. This is where that handle up there I showed you attaches, and this moves that flap cover. Some of this mud out of there, it's going to be all up in my armpit. Okay, where is that? There it is. That just pulls off. And we need to get this roll pin out of there. Little roll pin right there. What I'm gonna do is go back up here, and I'm gonna move that lever from mulch to the bag. That way it ought to put that roll pin in a direction where we can get it out. Well, let me go back about halfway with it. About halfway between. About halfway between. Let's give that thing a puff of air. Blow all that goo out of it so we can see it. Take a little bit of strike hold, any kind of lubricant you like. Put a little squirt on there. Let's see, it needs to go out that direction, if I ain't mistaken. It may not really matter. I don't think it really matters. Grab me a hammer and a little punch, and we'll drive that little pin out. Well, let me find me a good little punch here. Where's a good one? That one may be too. Well, we could probably go that direction with it. That'll probably be better. Let me move it just a little bit so I can get a little bit better. Well, let's try it this way. And we'll grab it with a pair of pliers. Don't squeeze or beat on this thing so hard you deform it, because it's got to fit in there just perfectly. Just that little pin. Put that over there. And by golly, this cover ought to be ours now. Oh, you got to take that. Let me show you this. I forgot about that. When we took that bolt out of this top right here, we got to pull this sleeve out of there and grab a hold of it. Would be a good way to grab that thing. I can feel the other end of it. See if we can try to push it, or because you can't hammer it down that way. You got to bring it back out that way. Let me go over here to the drawer and grab an easy out. That'll be a good way to grab it. Let's see, we'll just use one of these easy outs and see if we can. This one's a little big. Let's use a little bit smaller one. One that'll go down in there a little deeper. This one may be too small. Nope, there it goes, it grabbed it. You can get these any auto parts stores or anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, Northern Tool, corner liquor store. Let's see here. It's kind of stuck in there pretty good. You gotta, because this thing gets beat and banged up right here, and it just kind of boogers itself to each other. Let me grab a screwdriver and we'll pry with it. Just kind of work it out like that. Make friends with a tree. Guy's too quiet in here. All right, there it is. That belongs to us now. Okay. With the belt gone, the tension is gone off this spring, but this bracket right here will fall out when you take the spring off. So just get a good look at how it's supposed to, it just sticks in there and the spring holds that. I don't know how little you can see that in there. Well, you can't really see it, but I'll show you. I'll show you. Grab my pliers or something and try to, because that spring is wedged a little bit. I get my pliers behind it, or on it, somehow or another. There we go. Now where did it go? Well, you can pull the transmission around now. Well, we got to get this cable unhooked. We do. Let's see. Let me use Brandon's tool. I tell you, I use this thing several times a day. B&S small engines, pal. Let me lower this camera just a little bit. I notice when I use this LED flashlight and I move the camera around, it causes some kind of weirdness. Look at that. Anyway, that's not why we're here. I don't believe you necessarily have to take this cable off. I may try to do it without doing it because I don't believe you really have to. I don't believe you really have to. All you got to do is wedge it off like that. It just kind of hooks on there on its own. Yeah, might be better to take it off. I just can't get my fingers in there. Oh, don't slide the mower off the table, boy. I don't have that top one unclicked. Unclicked. There we go. There we go. Pull it out and over. Pull it out and over, get your finger in there. This thing could bite you, so be careful. Take my little screwdriver and or a punch or something and work this cable out. Little groove it slides in, and it's kind of hard to do because it's so close to the side. Let me grab my screwdriver again. I tell you, I'm giving this little screwdriver a workout today. Don't damage the cable. Don't damage the cable. There we go. Could have just took all the slack out of it. That would have been the easier thing to do. And now, push that off. Push it off. Push it off. Just like that. Pow. See, that just goes and hooks over that little lever. Now, we got the transmission. And I was showing you that spring hooks right there to that. So if you take the spring all the way out, that will fall out. So all you gotta do is see it just fell out. Let me reach around and hold it, hook a spring back in because you don't need to remove the spring all the way. Stick it back in there. Let that hang out. Okay, there's that. We're going to pull this pulley apart. That way we can get the new belt in here. You don't want to just stick it in there. Might damage the belt. Let me see how close of a tolerance that is. You might be able to, but just careful not to hurt that belt. You don't want to put a big gouge on it. There we go. We got it. Well, it don't go in there. It goes in there like that. On that HRX217, you have to take this pulley off. This one you don't have to. You just put the new belt on it. Pow. Now we got to put it back together in reverse order. So we are going to hook the spring. Well, first thing I'm going to do is put this cable back on there. Hook it around. Bring it up and over. Where'd my little screwdriver go? I need to take this slack out of this thing. That's what I need to do. I don't want to hurt this cable. Please, Toby, don't hurt him. There we go. And click it back in. Make sure the belt don't fall off. Go ahead and hook it around that crankshaft right there so it'll hold it. And we'll get this spring hook back up. Give it a little pry. Well, I won't do that just yet. I'll do it this way. I'll move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to get this spring hook back in this little eyelet. Just like that. And then we'll pry the transmission around. Pry it around. There we go. Just like that. Well, I tell you, this is terrible, terrible design. But we'll win. We will win. Now we'll put this back on. Be a good time to get all this stuff out of here. That'll help that thing slide. God, that was like a brick. Okay. All this debris, nastiness. Nastiness. Make sure that goes back on there. Everything is in its place. That wasn't very fun. Okay. We will put the pin back in. And we'll go ahead and put the hardware back in it. Starting with this one. It'll go right through here. Right in that little groove. That one, every 2 millimeter. What did I do with that sleeve we pulled out of there? And we got to get this back in here. Slide that back in like that. Round that in yonder like that. 2 millimeter. That's good. Okay. Let me knock some of the crap off this. And let me go up here and put it back on mulch. Put it back on mulch. Let's see. I think we're supposed to put this on first, wasn't we? I forgot what I was doing now. Or did I go over that? Yeah, it went under that. Make sure that's all the way on. There we go. There we go. All the way on. And over that. We'll have to line that up once we get the cover back on there. Let me go out there and bang this on the ground, get some of the mud off of this. Yeah, this little square piece fell off when I banged it the first time. Let's see, it's got to go like that. Mulch. There it goes again. All right. Now what I'll do, lastly, there it is. I'll put that back on. Reach around there and find where the lever is. Move this where I need it. Don't let that fall off. Stick that through there. Grab the flashlight and stick my head in there and make sure it's put together right. You gotta really take your time and do this right. Oh, that fell off. Let me fix that. Fix that. That goes right there. And that goes right there. Stick my hand in there. Make sure it's in the groove. Hairy elbows time. If I get the nut started. Ow. Make sure I get that nut on there right. It's got to go like that because that side is a nylock. Little nylon nut. Where'd my 10mm socket go? There it is. Ooh, all this for a drive belt. Now it's starting to get warm in here. Starting to get warm. Okay, now we can get these bands back on there and put the clutch and blades back on it. Yep. Make sure that's all the way down. And we have to spin it lined up with the keyway, just like that. Start it by hand because you don't want to cross thread it. Cross thread that and we'll all be in trouble. 12mm. one was there. All right, there's that. Let me move the lever back and forth, make sure it ain't bound up. It moves freely. Let me get me a drink of water. Whew, my throat's dry. Okay. Mr. Flashlight ain't doing no good way over there. Always check your bearing. Feels pretty good. Go ahead and hook up your cable. Get that in there. All nice and good. Well, just come right back out. There we go. Oop, get back in there. Now I got that thing. Spin that way, mister. There you go. Work it, work it, work it. Give it a little tap. Little tap. Little tiny tap. Easy on that bearing, boy. Okay, now we'll get the spring back on there. I should have done that before I spin that thing around like that. Grab your little screwdriver. Oops, missed it. I missed it again. We'll get it. We'll get it. Keep your patience. We'll get it. Oh, missed it again. Look out, boy. We're gonna get it. Let me use this punch right here instead of that screwdriver because it's got a little bit fatter head than this punch does. Eat them Wheaties, boy. We're gonna get it. Let me use a screwdriver again. And just keep working at it. Just keep working at it. You'll eventually get it. You'll eventually get it, or you won't. Let's see. That HRX217 was a whole lot easier than this one. This one's a lot tighter than that one was. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. We'll get it. We'll get it. Keep the faith. Oh, almost got it. There's got to be an easier way to do this. I just don't do enough of these to get really good at it. Oop. Don't give up. Don't give up. I wish I could use that tool Dean got me. Mr. Charles. Mr. Dean made me. I can't get the slide off the screwdriver now. Let me grab a smaller screwdriver. I don't want to hurt my good one. Let me grab a cheapy little screwdriver. One that's got a lot more narrow head than that. That's what we need. That's what we need. Nice, long, skinny one. Let me dig in here and find one. Is that one more narrow? It is. That's the problem. It was hanging on that darn screwdriver. That screwdriver head. Come on, baby. See, it's kind of hanging on that screwdriver, and it's hitting right there too. Yep. Look out! Don't let it bite you. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just do it like this. We'll just muscle that thing on there. Whew. I'm tired now. Make sure you put your little keyway back in there. Looks like we might be out of alignment just a little bit. Might be out of alignment just a little bit. Let me give it a little tap. There we go. If I hadn't touched that with my finger just then, I would have never found it. I'd be like, oh, what did I just do with the key? Make sure I see it all the way down. Don't hit it right in here because you'll booger it and it won't fit back together right. Make sure your spring plate's in there. Get that started like that. Uh-oh, look at there, the cable come out again. That cable. Well, now we got to fight that spring again. Let's see here. Where's a good place to pry? Uh-oh. Okay. Take my big old long screwdriver and find somewhere to pry in here. And then we'll stick that little ball back in that hole there. Oh. That's why I was having so much trouble, because that ball came out and it was letting this thing spin too far or something. I don't know. It's done. We win. We win. Yep. Keyway's good. Stick that in there like that. Oh, look out, boy. Hang on there. I have to get the bolt back in it to be able to push it back down. Hold it with that bolt there. That's good. All right, she is free. Free as a bird. Oh, let me get this back wheel put back on it. Check a little sprocket here, make sure it's good. What am I gonna do with the wheel? Make sure that meshes. Find my 12mm, wherever it landed. There it is. Nope, 14. There it is, way over there. Okay. Clean up the mess, sharpen his blades, put them back on real quick. Let's do that. way it piles, I ain't gonna make you watch me sharpen these blades again. Y'all hang with. Oh, some jagged blades there, boy. What did I do with the blade bolts? There. Oh yeah, this one was missing a washer. Let me dig around over here and find a washer for it. Ugh. Let's see what we have. What do we have? There's one. Ooh. All right, we got the proper washer. Proper washer. Ooh, get them fingers out of the way, bolt. Good enough. Okay. Now we'll stand her back up. Everything looks good. Everything looks pretty good. All them bolts are in tight. Blade bolts are tight. Clutch is tight. Let me look at that belt one more time, make sure ain't nothing bound. Springs hooked up correctly. Turn the fuel on. Let me go around here and check the oil in it, because I haven't done that yet. I don't want to crank this thing up and blow it up after I've done all that work to it. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. All right, let's go down with it. He's been using this thing without an air filter. Using it without an air filter, that ain't good. Okay, let's see if she works. Engage the blades and do all that kind of good stuff. Let's see. Get out here, little spider. Let's see, there's the blade control and there's the drive. Okay. All right, boys and girls, that is a drive belt on a HRX217 Honda. Stay in school. Thanks for watching another Tom Lummy video. Y'all be good to each other. Tell somebody I said hey. And we will catch y'all on the next one, man. I love y'all.